Because everything the person sees in another person is true. This purity, this pure feeling, it's all true. All of this can exist between you. What does the Lord show right away? Let's say you're buying a refrigerator. What will they show you first? All the best features, you understand? But they'll never show you that it might break down. Well, that's how the Lord shows a person too. It's also a demo version. The Lord shows a girl the best qualities in a guy, otherwise there wouldn't be any children at all, you understand? He shows all the best features. The Lord says, look at this product. This person is simply amazing. That's great. The Lord opens people's hearts to each other this way. They think, oh yes, absolutely. And then they discover shortcomings, because it's impossible to live with a refrigerator and not find out its flaws. But flaws don't inspire delight, right? They don't create happiness. They create disappointment. That's why there is no pure, bright love for a lifetime, you understand? It's impossible because we are not perfect individuals. Girls look for the perfect guy, guys look for the perfect girl. They don't exist. You might ask, then why does such pure, bright love arise? Because there are two reasons. Because you are very similar to each other, you have the same fate. That means that you've really tormented each other. Similar, identical fate means identical flaws, identical problems. Harmony arises within yourself. That's why the feeling is pure and strong. That's the first reason. And the second reason is that a person is actually very pure and bright by nature. We are all immortal souls, you understand? And the soul is very pure. It has all these qualities: honesty, kindness. For example, a woman has qualities of the soul. They exist in both men and women, but they manifest in women. God manifests qualities through female nature: kindness, tenderness, beauty, caring, humility, sincerity, openness, pure-heartedness. All these qualities are naturally given to women by God. Through men, soul qualities are also manifested, such as courage, responsibility, seriousness, patience, suffering, the ability for self-sacrifice. Who dies in war? Men mostly die, they sacrifice themselves. These are also sublime qualities, you understand? Pure qualities of the soul manifest through a man. They attract women very much. Women like male qualities, men like female qualities. A novice came to his priest and said, "How can I love my wife for my whole life?" The priest said, "Do you remember what you liked about her when you met?" The novice said, "I don't really remember." "Well, try to remember." "Okay, I remembered. She was like this before me." Now know that this is true. She is like that inside, and you must remember her like that all your life, and cherish exactly that image in your heart, and build a relationship with that person, and then you will love her all your life. And if you see something else in her, forgive, endure, forget, discipline her, but remember her exactly as she was. You might ask, how can you recognize such pure, bright love when a person has pure memories of another person for their whole life? Such love exists in nature. It's a mother's love for her child. The energy of fate is in the heart. Fate surrounds the soul like a small sphere. This sphere can be completely transparent, like faceted glass. You look at it one way, it's transparent. You turn it another way, it's no longer transparent. This sphere of fate in childhood is absolutely transparent, and a mother looks at her child and sees the soul within. She sees purity, beauty in this person, that's all. And she remembers this for life. She then looks at her child and sees this purity. And even if the child does a lot of foolish things, she knows them from the inside, knows what kind of person they are. Am I right, ladies? And that's why she loves her child all her life, you understand? Now you might say, Dr. Torsunov, why didn't God do the same for men? Everything would be great then. I would see the purity all my life and would love him for life. But God didn't create such a thing for men or women so that we would develop, you understand? Otherwise, everything would be handed to us on a silver platter. And where would development come from? We need to change ourselves, develop. That's the meaning of human life, not to just have fun here and leave this world, but for us to become better. That's why God created this world, so that we would learn this real love. Love still needs to be earned. If you know how to forgive, ask for forgiveness and see purity in your loved one. Learn to see real purity, which is not easy. Then you can be happy in your family. You might say, Dr. Torsunov, I'm done. I can't see it anymore. He has cheated on me so many times, even hit me. I can't see purity in this person. I just can't anymore. What's the solution? Some who came for the first time thought, kick him out and look for another man. It won't work because God connects people. We don't create love ourselves. I found myself a husband. No, you can't find him. God found him for you. He opened his heart. He tied threads between you. He gave you the opportunity to feel this power, this purity. He created the situation. He then keeps you together. You wanted to leave 50 times already, but you couldn't. Why are you holding me? I'm not holding you, leave. It's not him holding you, but God. God keeps people together. You understand? It's his power. The energy of love doesn't belong to us. If we abandon someone, they suffer from it afterward. They agonize. God will continue to pay you back with the same price. One girl asked me a question. Dr. Torsunov, I can't get married. I said, but you left someone. She said, well, yes, but how could I not leave him? It's impossible to live with such a person. Try it yourself, Dr. Torsunov. Try living with someone like that. She listed everything for me. I said, so you were living with your fate. A person will only give you what you're meant to receive, and that's it. Do you think you'll get more from him than what you're meant to have? No, you won't. He was only giving you what you were meant to receive. She said, I understand. When will I get the next one? I said, understand, my dear, that God has plenty of men, but they are all dear to him. And he doesn't want you to leave the next one too, and then another one after that. He has pity for these men, you see. It's for your sake. She said, what should I do? I said, first make amends for what you did. First understand that you were wrong. You can't just leave a person like that. And then he will think about it. When he sees that you are ready to bear your fate, then he will give you the next one. If you say you have many men, if you have many, then at least live with one for 5 years and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're not talking about sex at all. We're talking about building a relationship with someone. True love is difficult to achieve. People have even lost the concept of what love is. They don't even know how to love someone. They think that love means there should be screams and squeals in bed, what the internet shows. This is what love is. This is what we should strive for. Love is when there is depth. You understand? For example, great faithfulness. People are faithful to each other. They look at each other purely. They look at each other with pure eyes, as in the song, I look at you as in a mirror, as in a self-reflection, and I see my love in it and think about it. Let's not see the flaws in the mirror reflection. Love can be long, and life is even longer. So this is love. Let's not see the flaws in the mirror reflection. This is real love. It evokes a deep, strong feeling. Not seeing the shortcomings is austerity. We, on the contrary, immediately see the small flaws as soon as they appear. And then we wait for love. It won't appear. We constantly insult it. Love comes through feet. You understand? Through a real feet. And you need to work very hard on it. But most importantly, you need to learn one thing. Look, if we talk about falling in love in general, what do people mainly want? They want very strong feelings so that it would be really cool. I am ready to work hard, but first I need something very strong that would blow my mind. Dr. Torsunov, I need strong feelings. Remember, there are different emotional shades of love. This emotional state, when you're dying from love, indicates a very sad outcome. Why? Because this state indicates an uncontrollable force in contact between you. This means that the connection between you is so strong, fate will act so strongly through this person that you won't be able to handle it. You won't be able to cope because now you're dying of happiness, but later you will be dying of grief. Because when this channel of fate acts between you so strongly, it means it will act strongly in everything. This means that any misfortunes can happen at any second, because your fate through this person will simply weigh you down with a huge flow. Will you be able to handle it? That's the question. Most often people can't withstand this. They break up because it's very difficult. Imagine, for example, you say, Dr. Torsunov, thank you for your lectures. I say, oh, I'm so happy that you told me this. You would say, Dr. Torsunov, calm down. It's true, isn't it? It's hard to endure human love, joy. It's hard to endure, right? When a person expresses themselves like this. One young man stood up. They came to the lecture with a girl. He says, Dr. Torsunov, we love each other very much. I asked the girl, is this true? She says, well, yes. Listen to what happened next. He says, Dr. Torsunov, you see, everything is just great between us. I say, so what's your question? He says, just a moment, Dr. Torsunov, just a moment. Everything is just great between us, but she doesn't like something. I don't understand what she doesn't like at all. I ask her, Miss, what don't you like? He says, Dr. Torsunov, it's difficult for her to express her words, let me tell you. I say, no, let her say it better. She looks at me, just looking. She says, Dr. Torsunov, I get so tired of him. He has already worn me out with his love. He grabs the microphone and says, Dr. Torsunov, this is not true. This is not true. She loves me just as much as I love her. One man came to me to ask for a diet for his son. I was individually selecting food products. He says, Dr. Torsunov, please select for me. I say, so who needs it, your son or you? He says, both, but there's no point in paying for two. Just select for me alone. I say, why? He says, yes, he's the same as me. This is how love works, you understand? He's the same, exactly like me. He has the same interests, tastes, preferences, everything. I say, let me do 2 in 1 for you. You'll pay for one, I'll do it for both. He says, why? I say, we'll see. And it turned out that the child had exactly opposite preferences. And that's why the child is sick, because he feeds him what he eats himself. The child loves his dad. Whatever his dad gives him, he eats because he loves him. Out of love, you understand? The child does this. But it's not suitable for him, and that's why he gets sick. When I showed him this, he was shocked. He said, Dr. Torsunov, I always thought he was the same as me, because you love him. And that guy who came with a girl said at the lecture, Dr. Torsunov, you see, we are very similar in everything. And then it turned out that she had completely different desires. He just exhausted her. You see, she loves him, but he hogs the covers of love. He simply exhausted her. Don't look there, don't look here. This is what we will do together. This is how we will live together. We will really like it. She says, okay. But she thinks to herself, God, what should I do? And then I say, so what is your question? He says, Dr. Torsunov, for some reason she doesn't want to communicate with me lately. I say, you've simply exhausted her. And he still didn't understand anything. Such a blind feeling arises. It seems to you that this person is the same as you, that they need the same things as you, but you don't take their desires into account at all because love blinds. So, for example, a mother loves her son. Many women have approached me with the same question about an adult son. Dr. Torsunov, why doesn't my son love me? I say, but he does love you. She says, how can I understand this? I say, how will you understand it if you've already worn him out? A woman doesn't just love her child, she loves his fate and wants to live his fate. Can you imagine how a woman's love is structured? She experiences this not only towards her child. A woman loves her husband in the same way. She loves his whole life. You understand? And she wants to live his life. And that's why a woman worries so much when her husband does something wrong. So she says, son, please don't do this. And she simply doesn't let him live. He needs to do this. He needs to make mistakes in life. He needs to make decisions. He needs to act. What kind of girl will he marry? What kind of girl? The one who is his mistake of fate. The same mistake that you made in your life in the past. You also married the wrong person, as it seems to you now. And he also has to make this mistake, but you don't let him live. She says, yes, this stage has already been passed. I've already seen such people. This is not our kind of person. You passed this stage, but for him it's love. Why don't you let him live? And that's it. She ruins the relationship. The son tells her, Mom, you've worn me out. Give me a chance to live. She says, I'm not annoying you. I love you, understand? And she says it sincerely. You see how scary that is? And this is a mother who sincerely loves her son and wishes the best for him, who wants his wife to bring happiness to her son. And she knows how to bring happiness to my son. And this mom is called a mother-in-law. Mother-in-law is the one who will torture her son's wife. A wife's mother is even worse, right? Are you a wife's mother? Yes, well, okay. All right, so that means that we're all good. I'm just saying that we become blind in love. We don't let the person live, simply don't let them live, you understand? That's why they run away, because we don't let them live. And for a person to live, they need to make mistakes. Or let's say, why is a wife's mother worse, as I said? No, she's better, of course, in reality. My wife's mother is very good. Because here the fate is similar. What does a wife's mother mean? The mother of a girl. She herself made mistakes with men. Look who she ended up with. She had exactly the same man. And what happened? She already sees in advance the fate is similar, and her daughter marries a man alike, and they live together. She thinks nothing good will come of it, I already know. They will separate anyway. That's it. She comes to her son-in-law and says, I will destroy you. He hasn't done anything bad yet at all. Her experience is not with him. He's just a similar person, and she already comes to him in advance. Well, what can be done? He hasn't done anything bad yet at all, hasn't had time yet. That's an anticipation of events. What can be done? Give your daughter a chance to live her own life. Because all those mistakes that you once made, it doesn't mean that these mistakes doom the situation. It means that they can be fixed. And your daughter, if you pray for her, she will fix it all, and she will be able to live with the person you couldn't live with. She will be better than you if you are a good mother-in-law, but if you are a bad one, you will interfere with her life and destroy her family. Or let's say the daughter comes and complains to her mother. What is she complaining about? About what her mother saw from the very beginning. And she looks at her daughter. I told you so. And what does she do? She pulls her daughter to her side. That's it. She's already completely sure everything is coming true. But what should be done? You should say, daughter, he is a good person. Continue living with him. Help people live. Do not pull them to your side. Do not break their relationship. Don't doubt. Don't be disappointed. But help, believe, love, because God brought people together, not you. And it's not for you to decide who will bring happiness to your daughter and who won't. Of course, you can also decide in what case, if you are a very exalted person. If you raised your daughter in such a way that she strongly believes in you, if you are able to see correctly, to see people, and are able to choose the right person for your daughter, if she feels this, she will agree to marry the one you have chosen for her. But such parents are extremely rare nowadays. Mostly they only see the bad in the person who was chosen, and mostly destroy families rather than help. There are exceptions, of course. I'm sure that in this hall, mostly exceptions are sitting. Mostly only good mothers-in-law are sitting in this hall. I'm sure because you are wise people, you've been listening to me for more than an hour. That's a sign of wisdom. Well, how can anyone listen to me for more than an hour? I've already said so much rhetoric. You are very wise, so this doesn't concern you. But if you've seen such a situation, understand that this is a natural situation. This is a normal situation. If, let's say, your parents are destroying your marriage, this is a normal situation. It's not that you're unlucky. It just happens out of love, because love is blind by nature. We become very blind when we love someone. We wish them the very best, but they have a different life. You understand? Love is blind, and therefore, according to the Vedas, a woman, a mother, should not strongly interfere in her son's fate. She should give him the opportunity to live, make mistakes, do foolish things. A man, a father, should invest in his son's fate. He will gladly give him the opportunity to make mistakes. Moreover, he himself will throw him into the water when he cannot swim. He will do this himself so that his son becomes strong. The father has a desire to make a man out of his son, but a woman cannot watch this. You shouldn't throw him into water in her presence to teach him swimming. You shouldn't do this in her presence. You shouldn't teach him to study. You shouldn't teach your son to fight for his rights, to defend his honor in front of his mother. She will go crazy when she sees this. It's impossible for a woman to endure this at all. Why did you hit him in the stomach? Look how much it hurts him. Like in the song, as my mother was seeing me off to the army, all my relatives came running. Where are you going, son? Where are you going? You shouldn't go to be a soldier, son. The army will find bayonets without you. They will manage without you. A common story. And why did you need this lesson? That's a good question. This question concerns all people sitting in the hall. You say, I'm the kind of person who needs to provide for my family first, and then have children. This is normal, but you need to know something else. In our personal life, we must learn this thing through stress, only through some difficult events, or deep wisdom. First of all, we must learn to understand what my close person needs in life, not what I need. Because if I don't do this, don't understand, then I will lose this close person. This applies to all people because we are blind in relationships. We are all blind. Now, if we take, let's say, this girl, she got married with a very subtle feeling for him. I'm telling your fate now. That means that she simply loved you very much. That means with a very subtle feeling. Naturally, when a person loves strongly, they also bring worries, some difficulties. That means she tormented you and you endured. She had a passionate feeling. And it was like that for about 2 years. It was like that for 2 years. And in your life with her, one event occurred that you may not even remember, but this event was key in your relationship. Because her strongest feeling and desire was to have children from you, specifically from you. And at one point, it was approximately, I can't say exactly, but approximately a year, probably a year and a half or 2 ago, you said, don't worry about these things at all. I don't know exactly how you said it, but you told her very harshly about this desire of hers. And at that moment, everything broke inside her, and she simply became disappointed in your relationship. She then fell into depression. She was not herself for some time, and then made a decision, and this decision was made 8 months ago, that she was leaving you. And there is only one reason. She believed in those words that you said. That's it. There were no more reasons. And the only reason for your separation is not that you didn't give her children, but that you didn't understand her most important, strong inner desire, and you simply trampled on it. As a result, she simply broke down as a person, and now she is in this deep breakdown, and she is taking revenge on you for this now. She has such a harsh desire now to destroy you. That means that she is against your very existence. I have revealed the problem to you, and now you need to solve it in a good way. So if you deeply repent before her, she will only feel her superiority. This will not give her the feeling that something has changed in your heart because you have proved to her that you are a strong man. A woman needs to be shown not that you are strong, but that you are kind. You understand? She doesn't feel your kindness. She only feels your strength now and is showing you her strength. That's it. This is what happened.
Dr. Torsunov, should I do what my mentor advised?
You have a good mentor. He advised you the right things. Do it. Set a deadline. If she doesn't return to you in 7 months, then you need to put an end to it all, because you only have 7 months of time, and I give very little chance that she will return. But if she returns, it means that God loves you very much. Because I see what chances are, but God has His will. He can do whatever He wants. Well, the girl in the second row.
Good evening. Dr. Torsunov, thank you. My husband and I are doing well. The thing is that my father is an unbearable person, but I adore him. Lately, the situation has been getting worse. He has heart attacks, health problems.
Yes, you don't know everything about his health. His behavior now is due to the fact that all these heart attacks are happening because his psyche is under a lot of stress. And this mental tension is now leading to the fact that he has literally started to behave inadequately. This is a disease. This is not behavior. Remember, this is a disease. If you want, I have a method. I put seeds in a person's ears. This is a technique that can simply neutralize the disease. So if we apply the seeds, then this excitation that makes him inadequate will leave his head. This doesn't mean that I've cured the disease, but I will remove what is destroying your life now.
He and my mother got married out of great love and have been together for 40 years. But now they live separately.
If he wants, he can stick these seeds to his ears, and then it will help him. I don't know what else to do for you. If you want to know how to treat this disease, he needs to move for a long time and stand near trees. Then he can be cured, because he is simply tense. He needs to reduce this tension in his head. This tension causes heart attacks. Let's stick to the topic of the lecture, my dear friends. We have such a rule. At the end of the lecture, always ask questions on the topic. Is your question related to the lecture topic, young lady? Not on the topic? Is yours on the topic? On the topic? Let's hear from you, lady in the white headscarf.
I would like to ask about relationships when there is a big age difference.
A woman can be much older and there can be very pure love. Simply in this case, the woman is older and the man is younger. The bigger the difference, the more femininity is required from the woman and masculinity from the man. This difference is compensated by the right attitude of people, and even such a difference can exist.
Thank you very much for your lectures. You have devoted so much time and kindness to this that it's simply impossible to express in words.
I can also add that you are such a person yourself. You are very wise. You didn't say anything about your life. Without any of my lectures, you yourself have done a lot of good in your life, and I can say the same about you.
Thank you.
I want to ask the girl in glasses at the back, who raised her hand, in black clothes.
My ex-husband cheated, didn't work, and I divorced him. And I want my husband to be strong, to earn money.
It's great, isn't it? Your husband doesn't work and he's weak. I didn't even know about this, about such a pattern. I didn't even think about it. Imagine a husband cheats, is weak, doesn't work. I just get divorced and get myself a strong one who works. Can you imagine? What a great option. I didn't even know about this. My dear, understand one thing, that in your life all men will always have the same flaws. You understand? God will not give you a strong man who earns money. Do you know why? I can tell you why God doesn't give you a strong man who earns money. Are you ready to hear this?
Yes.
Have you been listening to my lectures for a long time?
No.
Maybe you're not ready. This is exactly on topic. So, my dear, know that if God gives you a strong man who works and earns money, he will be a very cruel person. Your life will be in danger. Therefore, God doesn't give you such a husband in order to preserve your life. And if you want to know why none of them work, the reason is that in your past life you were a man. And you studied a lot about how to live right, but you didn't work while doing so. Now everyone around you is doing the same thing. They're studying everything, but they don't want to work. That's the answer to your question. It's clear if you didn't work in your past life, you'll have to work in this one. My dear, I wish you happiness. You need to listen to lectures. You will learn everything about your life over time. You have a good fate. Everything will be fine. According to your fate, you are meant to have a kind husband who, gradually listening to your guidance and advice, will slowly, little by little, start working. This will happen. That means that he will work, but you must make an effort. You will have a husband. Everything will be good in your life. It's just not what you think, not the kind you're talking about, someone strong who works. That's just your dream. Remember, dreams destroy a person's life. If a woman has believed so strongly in a dream, keep in mind, a dream is not life. Did you hear me or not? Because in modern psychology, people say, visualize your dream, strongly believe in it, and you will achieve it. This is complete nonsense. Remember, a dream is the opposite of life. And often people, when they start thinking about who they need and dream about it, they remain alone because God will give what is meant to be, not what one wants. It's not like if I want ice cream, it means I'll get ice cream. It works that way with ice cream, but not with a man. Because these are incomparable things. You understand? If I dream of having $10 million, it doesn't mean I'll get $10 million. These are these kinds of comparisons, you understand? If I dream about this, it means I'll end up without pants. Because instead of dreaming, I need to start working. Let's continue with you, the one wearing glasses.
Thank you. I also have a personal question. I can't meet a worthy man. Is it something I'm doing wrong, or is it some other problem?
It's both. I'll tell you. You are a very deep person, sincere and good, and living with people like you is a pleasure. But you simply don't know one thing. You don't know. There are two categories of women. Some women know very well how to knock men off their feet, but then don't know how to live with them. That means that they have a lot of external beauty, they have strength, but then they don't know what to do with them, with these men, how to care for them. They don't know how, because they direct all their energy toward knocking them off their feet. And they can do it, no problem, but they can't live with them afterward, you understand? With you, it's the opposite. You can live with a person, but you can't knock them off their feet. You see, you need to learn to be a strong, influential woman. That means you need to learn to behave in such a way as to knock someone off their feet, because that's the only way to get married. He won't fall by himself in front of you. He won't stumble. You need to apply feminine efforts, but you don't apply them. But I'll give you one more piece of advice. You need to find someone who will introduce you to people. Because even if you do this, you'll still have a very weak chance. But if you make internal efforts, plus someone introduces you to a man, then you'll succeed. Our lecture should be ending now. Now we'll have a small training completely off topic. This is a very easy topic from the perspective of what I'm going to talk about now, although it was very interesting for you. In fact, it's not as deep as some of my lectures. I've been telling you some simple, important, valuable things, but there are deeper things. The deepest topic in this world is sound. Remember, sound is a force that constantly torments our heart. We constantly remember our life, ourselves, and this remembering, which happens every day in our life, is the result of the sound of our fate. Our fate sounds. The sound of fate comes from the heart, but this sound always immediately turns into memory of oneself, and therefore we don't hear this sound. So know that it is precisely with sound that this sound of fate is defeated. And that's why since ancient times people pray. Know that this sound of victory over fate has certain characteristics. For example, if you repeat, I wish happiness to everyone, I does not defeat fate. Why? Because emotions are a superficial sound. If I repeat, let's say, from my heart, I wish happiness to everyone, this sound is good. I have happiness, I give it to you, but I cannot defeat fate with this sound because it is the sound of the mind. But intelligence defeats fate. The sound of intelligence is a sound living in memory. Remember this. For instance, what should I remember? I should remember either God, whom I don't know, so I'm unlikely to remember him, or those who pray to God. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.